All right, you guys. So I've been meaning to do this video about for a while because I had a couple weeks ago, not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, February 5th. I had went to the store, and I remember that day because I remember I went out to treat myself out to eat the week before, the Sunday before the Super Bowl. And I treated myself out. And I was, well, I might come, and I was like, well, I might come back to Carolina Air House, next Sunday for Super Bowl, and my money allows. And so, I left there and I went to the Walmart to get some things. And while I was there, I had walked in. I was over in the bakery area, and I noticed I see this Hispanic girl skating around on roller skates. And as I'm looking around, I notice I don't see any parent that was like be her parent. So I'm like, well, where's the parent at? Because I do not understand this. Like, I'm so sick and tired of seeing this. Where like they're just Hispanics are so too free with their children. They want the kids to be too free. So I'm looking around. And so it's hard for me to move because of it, because I had a car. And if I had moved it, I would have hit the little girl. And then, the parents would have been the same man. So I'm like, so I'm looking around, and finally I see, like, some parents. And so, like, the parents are, like, way over there, and she's over there, and she's skating around. And she was talking to her brother, and then they went back over in that direction. I'm thinking, how in the hell? And, like, the parents were, like, into, because I guess they were shopping or looking at something. But how you had no deal with your child because your back is turned, you're over here, you know. And I really watch your child or constantly checking. Let me see what she having. And it makes it hard for you when you're on shot. Because when you try to move, this girl just dodging, you know, because she's a kid. She don't know no better. It's your responsibility to teach her. You know what I'm saying? She don't know what she do, but she don't know she don't know. When I say I was so mad, I was so tempted. Usually I don't do this, but I was so tempted to go to that parent and say something. And just so happened I didn't have my cell phone. And I'm not one of those type of people that, because I wasn't expecting to see them when I went into the store. Because I've gone to Walmart sometimes. I've never seen a person on skates. So, or a child up on skates and be, doing that. And I was like, if I go over there, I'm going to be seen as like a Karen. And I'm not a Karen. I said, they go say I'm a Karen. I won't have my phone to back it up, you know. But usually I'm not that person that when I see something, because there's a lot of people nowadays, they'll sit in there and just take, they immediately, I'm thinking, how would you have the mindset, the wherewithal to take your cell phone and start recording? Because it was like when you went out, you knew that was going to happen today. You know that situation was going to happen today. So where you get the wherewithal to be like, oh, let me put my phone out and stuff, because, what I'm saying, when something's happened, because you know that was going to happen, So I'm sitting here. So it never crossed my mind the whole time for me to ever take my phone out. And I thought about going over because I was living, because I've experienced these situations before where I go somewhere. I was out, this was like sometime last year before I was at a Walmart, and this child just came out in front of me. Her mom was like, how like when it's like the restaurant and the clothes over here. She was in that section, that area. So she was looking at the clothes, and the child had came out. And I was coming around, so I hadn't made it right to the front yet. So I'm coming around, and it was like the parent didn't even, So I'm constantly always in a situation where the Hispanic kids are darting out, jumping through. I'm like, oh shoot. Sorry, y'all. Darting out. I'm back in. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Darting out and jumping around. And I'm like, what I'm saying? It's like, well, why they're not being taught the culture of America, and that not every place is a playground. Every place is not a playground. And because in Mexico, it's like that. Like, oh, everything's a playground. And the kids running in the streets, or they in the store, they running around the store like it's a playground. No, there's a time to play, and there's a time for you not to play. You know what I'm saying? In America, we had designated areas for your child to play. That's at the playground. You know what I'm saying? At the park. Or they can play, when they're home, they can play. When they're at daycare, they can play all stuff. But when you at the grocery store or the laundromat, or, it's like, that's not a place to play. But it's like, they are teaching the kids, oh, be free. It's okay. Everything's okay. And the minute they get hit by a car, they'll say, oh my God, my child on top. But you got to take responsibility because you got your child. You teach your child that the street is the playground when it's not. I had a situation, I was going to the laundromat, and I was walking up to the door. The kids are playing in front of the door. People got to come in at, And the dad was there and look at, didn't say a word. He saw a child. He saw me coming up and just stood there. And you see me coming up to the door, so you're not going to send it to your kids. You see me coming up to the door. And that door was close to where I was coming from because I was bringing my laundry in I believe, to dry it because I wash it because I was in my apartment. So I was using their washing machine, but I was dry there. So I'm not about to carry no wet clothes that's heavy all the way to the door. You know how large a man said the door here, but you gotta walk down to get to the door. I'm not finna do that with no heavy basket of laundry because it's wet, and that was closest to me. No, I'm not finna do that. So I get up to the door, and I start, and I remember I put it because I stopped for a second to catch my breath. So plenty of times when I'm stopping to catch my breath, plenty of times I say something to your children. He doesn't say anything. So when I get to the door, it was finally when I grabbed the door, I go to push it coming. Now he was, oh, more than coming. But why gotta take me touching the door for you to find? You knew I was coming in. You saw me. It's like, I guess everybody common sense, but it's up to you if you're gonna use it. Like you saw me walking towards the door with the basket. You should tell your kids to move. Then no one time at the door about to come in. It's like their reaction time was so fucking slow. And I remember doing a video about that when it happened. That day either I got home the next day. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. So last Saturday, my mom had came into town, so we went to Denny's to eat. They hadn't gave us the wrong receipt, so I'm trying to correct the receipt with it. It just like happened the receipt they gave me was to a Hispanic family. So while they're waiting to correct and fix it, I just happened to turn because I heard something. I heard like the door was like constantly being closed and bang. So I go turn and look. The Hispanic child is on the door, and this is where people come in and out at. I'm thinking, so you spend to believe you ain't hear this door banging? It's your child banging. You spend to believe you ain't here? And the mother said to deal with the younger child because she was two boys, so it was the older boy. And so the mom and the dad was the young child, and the older boy was banging up, like opening the closing and banging it. I'm thinking, that's where people come in at. You know that's public. It's gonna be a lot of people come in at that door because that's where people come because that's where people come. But also when you check out, you turn, you go out that door. So people come in, cars come in at that door. So why would you think it's okay if your kid? And he's messing with the door, and she don't hear, and she just turned, over here talking to the. So finally, the child stops on her own and walks all back to the parents. But I'm like, why didn't the parents? And they just, they never said that. They never went over and got the child. There was no reaction, nothing. They never got the child. I'm like, could you hear this child bang on this door? Like, I don't understand how they think that's okay. Restaurants not playgrounds. The grocery stores not playgrounds. The laundromats aren't playgrounds. Any place that's not a playground is not a playground. The park is the playground. When the child's at school, they can play in their classroom. They can play. Each daycare or school is going to have playground that's outside. That's the appropriate place for them to play. But not, but not the grocery store. And I'm like, so you and they won't gonna say a word. So you just gonna let the child just whatever. Now somebody had came in, not put it and grabbed the door. He had fell over. They would have been upset. You see what I'm saying? And I just don't understand why. If I was to go to Japan, if I was to go to Russia, if I was to go to Mexico, if I was to go to any country, Africa, Australia, any country, I would have to know their culture. And there's certain things that you just can't do. You're not gonna walk to another country, even if I was visiting. I'm like, okay, you gotta be mindful of how things are done here. Certain things you can't say. Excuse me. The things you can't say or can't do, because you might do it might be offensive. So in Mexico, their kids they treat the street like it's a playground. If I come to Mexico, I gotta know the language. I'm not gonna get all these benefits where they're not gonna help anybody that's not from the country. If I was to move from the country, they're not gonna have all these free health resources. But you come to America, and Hispanics got all these free health resources. If I go to Mexico, I got to learn the culture, know the language. I got to know, how their culture moves and acts. What's okay, what's not okay. So why is when they come to America, they're not being taught that this is okay, this is not okay? Because there's no way I'm the only one that sees this. Why isn't anybody else speaking up about culture awareness? You know what I'm saying? Like when you come to another country, be culture aware, learn the culture, and being mindful. And then people want to sit there and say, "Oh, you're not allowing me to embrace my culture." Your culture, your culture. How you do that? You can do it in your house. But once you step outside your house, you have to adapt to the culture out here. You know what I'm saying? If your culture does that a certain way, you can live those rituals, routines, and traditions in your house. But when you come out your house, you gotta be mindful. Because they're so relaxed with their kids. I'm not surprised when I hear news about how their kids are snatched up, being hit by a car, kidnapped, whatever, because they don't watch their kids. And then so also they'll say that I can't believe That like I understand like why would you? They're not they're too kind hearted because they're taught to they're too trusted. They're taught to everybody no. It got to take them go to something traumatic. Yeah, and then they're shocked. I can't believe like why she's the kid, why she's taking the kid, this and da da da. You got that you're in America, which goes back to you have to be okay in America how things was America like. So we, you know what I'm saying. So these are things we're gonna have to do. In Mexico, we probably be a little more freer because of that. But here in America, we need to know what America's about and how they are. You know what I'm saying. In America, we can't do that. We can't let our kids be free. It's not. You know, what I'm saying. America is not. It's not like that. America's not safe like that for me not to be watching my child. You gotta watch your child like a fucking hawk. You know. That's how a lot of times a lot of these white kids come missing because their names are Hispanic and they're very free and they try to be in the playground. Let's see, you know, somebody snatch the child up. I'm battling a bit of a course. I'm trying to rush to get it out. Snatch the child up off the playground. You know, and it's always, oh, I just turned for a second, or I went over here. You never did a child unattended. If I was getting that, I'm not getting no spending name. Leave my you know you don't keep an eye on your children. I be damn you gonna do it on mine. If I hire a spending woman, I'm letting I'm letting out like look, this is America, and it's not safe. No country will say, but it's not safe. So I need you to have your eyes on my child all the times. My child needs to be near you all the times. You know, so like if you take my child to the playground, you need to be watching on the playground. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm going to step away for a second. My child needs to be with you at all times. You don't leave my child unattended. My child, you know what I'm saying, my child should never not be supervised. My child should be supervised at all times. Because we live in the world, America, I'm telling you, they kidnapping, raping little kids, all that type of stuff. You need to watch my child. They are too free. I do not understand why this is not a topic of discussion. Because I mess around and actually pop one of the kids on my car because they dogged it because they think the streets to play around. I mean, they just running or playing, throwing them. I'm like, what the fuck? I think about when you watching movies and that movie, the location changes and they're like, oh, guess we have to go to Mexico. So when they're scanning the city and you see the little the buildings, whatever, and then once they get down to where you can see the village, the people living, what's the thing you commonly see all the time? It's little Hispanic babies darting out in the street, the ball rolling out to the street, about to get popped. And then they want to crawl my poor baby. No, come on now. Come on now. I don't understand. Come on now. Ain't no poor baby. You know what I'm saying? You're too free, you're too relaxed. If something happens to your child, you're mad as hell. But it's your fault. That's something. I see my window was closing down, y'all. But it's your fault if something happens to your child. It's your fault. You know? I'm like, so I just don't understand how. We gotta do better. You know, people need to, because it's not fair that we go to the country, we got to know the culture, embrace it, respect it, but it's like America is too free. We allow people to come to our country, disrespect us, or do whatever, don't have to respect it, and not learning stuff, and it's very open. Other countries ain't open like that. You can just come up in their country and think you feel it. Nah, it ain't go down like that. It is not. So that's my take on it. You know, I'm just because I was this close. I'm telling y'all, I was fit to go to college, just so agitated because I see that I experienced it, and it just I'm like I was gonna say so I was gonna be like, look. This is what I was gonna say. This is what came in my head to say to that lady in the store. I was like, look, I was gonna say, excuse me, but does this is this a play? I was gonna say, does this look like a playground? She probably threw it. She'd be like, no, why? Like I don't understand because your child is riding. You let your child to ride around here and roller skates like this is a playground. And for you to sit there in your answer, for you to say to me, no, it's not a playground. Then why would you think it's okay? Well, you know what I'm saying? If you know it's not a playground, you know it's not okay for her to be in her roller skates because this is not a playground. Because I almost hit her with a damn car because she darted out in front of me. And on top of that, you're not even watching her. She's at her roller skates, you're not watching her. Like this is not a playground. You know what I'm saying? You're in America, there's culture. When she's in the store, every place is not a playground. The park is a playground. When she's at home, she can do whatever. When she's at school, she can play in the classroom, she can play in the playground that they have. But every place is not a playground. The laundromat. I was gonna go in on her ass. The laundromat, restaurants, the stores. Those are not playgrounds. So if you know it's not a playground, why would you let? Because roller skates you do outside on the playground, not in the store. Because I was about to go move, and she came out. I had to start to keep from her with my damn car. Your kids just run out and dart, so that's not okay. I got to do better. Because if I had to come to Mexico or whatever, I got to respect y'all culture. My friends, I couldn't make y'all respect our culture. That's why I would have said to her, I was going to go the fuck off. I was like, you have to keep an eye on the children. I said, you're in America. Don't think for a second they will snatch up a girl her age and kidnap her and rape her, do all kinds of shit to her. And you literally were not watching her. Your back was literally turned. Your back, both of y'all backs was turned. And nobody was watching her and y'all was talking. And now if somebody snatched her up and did whatever, you would have been devastated. But you got to take responsibility. You got to keep your eye on your kids all the time. Keep them near you. Your kids will be near you at all times. There are predators in the store right now. They will snatch your child up. You're the type of family that they will set your child up because you wasn't watching because they're gonna I can't think of the word right now. They're gonna it be premeditated. They be watching and planning it out, and they think that she's not watching her. Sometimes not premeditated. They might not have been planning on taking someone that day, but just so happened, but your child said skate and you in there. They was like, oh, here's an opportunity, and just grab her. And neither one of y'all was watching both y'all bastards her looking at the damn food. She should not be in the store with her rose kid. So she's a child. She can cry for attention. She with the butt. No, you can't say yes to everything. That's another thing about Spanish. They yes every fucking thing. You can't say yes to everything. You can't say yes to everything. Oh, she was getting upset, and you the parent. She don't run nothing. You can't say yes to everything. That's the problem. That's why we guys got to say that because you too free. You the parent. When we get home, you know what I'm saying, sit down, like explain to her, like, hey, I know you can't wear your roller skates in the store, but when we get home, you know what I'm saying, I'll let you roller skate for about 15, 20 minutes and stuff like that, but then we gotta go in because we gotta get ready for the next day. Because this was Sunday, so we know they got scooter bar, but we gotta get ready for the next day because you got scooter bar. Excuse me, y'all. You gotta step up and be the parent. You know what I'm saying? You got to be the parent. So what she just said though, no, you got to step up and be the parent. I'm about sick of this. I'm sick of a lot of shit. I'm sick of people picking and choosing what they're gonna be sensitive about. When in this movie industry, when they're picking and choosing what they're gonna be sensitive about certain things, but that's another conversation. That's another video. So I probably do in a few minutes. I'm about to eat and get things together. But that's basically just what I want to say. I was just so frustrated, agitated. But I'm like, because let me go there and just be doing whatever and doing what I do in America. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna tolerate that shit in Mexico or anywhere else. Definitely not Japan. China and Japan, they're very strict. They don't motherfucking play. You know what I'm saying? You go to Japan, they're not gonna have if you speak English, press one. You know what I'm saying? You better know that motherfucking language. When you come here in America, all this. If you speak Spanish, press two for Spanish. If you speak English, press one instead of line. But if you speak Spanish, press two. If you go to Mexico, they're not gonna give these options to help you out if you coming in here. If I was going on a trip to Mexico, I'd be fucked up. Cause they're not gonna have it where they're not gonna have those. They don't have those resources to help out people. But they want to be so open for them, but they don't do it for us. Our tax dollars goes to them. That's how the Hispanics are able to get free health care. Our tax money. Think about when you go to the doctors. Next time you go to the doctors, look on the wall. When you in a little doctor's room or whatever, look on the wall. And when you see all the resources, pamphlets, how they be like, free health care. It's for Hispanics. Not for us. It's not for the Americans, the blacks, or the whites, the people that are United States citizens. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for us. It's for the Hispanics. Not for the Native Americans, not for the Indians, not for anybody, not for China or Japan, for the Hispanics. But where's it come from? Our tax money. And yeah, here I am. I'm an American, and I pay taxes, and I can't even get any free health care resources to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? What job I have, I can't afford health care. I can't afford to sit here and pay for insurance. Because insurance right there about $100 a month. I had to have a PAP. I had a mammogram. Any other thing that you need to do. None of that. Colonoscopy. None of that. Because you got to go to the doctors for that. You got to go to the doctors for that. Period. Period. And so you know what I'm saying, and we can't even afford to go. You know what I'm saying? But Hispanics are going to the hospital off of our time, off of our money. Now I turn around, I have to file and pay to get the tax dollars just to pay. If I gotta pay to get my tax, that I paid for. Cause I sit there and pay. They take $200 out of my paycheck twice because I get paid bi-weekly. So basically $400 a month comes out of my check for taxes. They take about every time I get paid, they take about they take out about $200. So that's $400 a month. That's 12 months. That's 12 months in a year. $400. That's for 4,800 for the whole year. So why is it when I go file my taxes, I'm not getting at least half of that? I'm not getting at least half of that. I paid $4,800 in taxes for the whole year. Cause they take out $200 every time I get paid, and I get paid twice a month. I get paid every other week, bi-weekly. So I'm thinking, how the fuck I paid $400, but you tell me I'm only get back $300 in taxes? Or if I and now this time I wasn't. Now I started. I hadn't worked like a whole year last year because I worked like 6 months at work now, and then I had moved. But if I'm there for like a whole, if I work at a place for a whole year, like this whole year I bet the job, I guarantee you, I'll bring in out of $4,800 I pay in taxes, I'll get $900, $900 some, and that's the federal. Then my state might be like maybe like $50 or $60 or maybe $80. So I'm saying like because my federal it costs the most. When I look at my thing, they take out more in federal than they do in the state. So my state, I'm only getting maybe like $80 back. My federal 900, but yeah, I'm paying $4,800 in taxes, and I can't even get that back. And all that money I pay in taxes goes to whatever, which allows Hispanics to get free health care, but I can't get free health care to be saved. When I was sick a couple weeks ago, I had to go to the hospital. I got hospital bills. I got to call these people to get financial assistance because I can't. One of the bills $1,000. They want the whole amount. There was no like. I mean, I could set up a payment plan. You know what I'm saying? But I got enough bills. They already set up the payment plan to be like, okay, pay this amount every month. It was like this is what's due. This whole entire amount. And it's due whatever they receive. $1,000. Like I'm sitting here with $1,000 in my pocket. One other bill is 126. Another one $655. And then that's from the first visit. Because the first time I went, I had like thrown up. And they didn't admit me or anything. So I know it shouldn't be that because if I wasn't admitted, they can't get me for how long for how long I was there. Because I was there for maybe like an hour or 2 hours the first time. When I got sick, I had a cold and I had sinus pressure and that pain. I was there for a couple hours, but they didn't admit me. I was sitting in the waiting room. I hadn't not been seen. So when they saw me, I was barely there that long, and I wasn't admitted because they didn't do no IV, nothing. Um, she was like, "We're gonna put this IV in case we have to admit you," but they never admitted me. That first time, second time, they didn't admit me either. And so all that right there is the bill from the first time. Because I went the second time, it was like around like 20th of January or something like that. So I haven't received the bill from when I went for January 20th. So I'm gonna have all that. I can't afford that shit, but that's what I had to do when I was sick. I couldn't go to I couldn't afford to go to urgent care, which only would have cost me probably like $100. You know what I'm saying? But when you go to urgent care, you got to pay right then. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have it. So I had to go to the hospital just to be seen. And they ended up not even giving me. They prescribed me Mucinex and some Tylenol for the pain because the sun pressure was so bad and just thin the mucus. So I basically went there for nothing. So basically, I could have just took whatever I saw I wanted to take to get rid of it. Because I can't afford health care because it goes to the Hispanic people. They're getting all this stuff, but then they're not respecting the culture. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how we got this topic, but and I'm like, so a lot of times when I get sick, I'm sitting here suffering. Like I don't go to the doctor because I don't have insurance to go to the doctor. So a lot of times I'm suffering. I was in pain. Like I was in pain because I could not go to the doctor. I could not afford to go to the doctor. You know, those are just my thoughts. Like I feel like where's the fairness? So sometimes I wish I was like born in another country, like born in Mexico, because at least I would have been able to go. I can afford to go to the doctor. I can afford to go to college. You know, if you fill applications, that has certain things, certain people. That's for nothing for the Americans. Nothing for the white people, the black folks that are actually born in America. They got all that stuff. Oh, if you start the military. Oh, if you're Latino or Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? They got all these things that you could get. Or you could get this type of funding for college if you're this. That's like, but then what about people who live here? Not everybody, you know what I'm saying, has rich parents and stuff like that. Or not everybody was successful to where they can afford to put, like, we're not looking out for our own, you know. But those are my thoughts that, you know, I got to eat, get something in me. So I got to work tomorrow. So I love y'all. God bless. I just, those are my thoughts. What's been going on. I'll probably have another video soon. Talk to y'all later. Bye. God bless.